Glove Corp's fourth quarter net profit slumped 48% year-on-year to $608 million from $1.18 billion the year before, the first time its net profit has dropped below the $1 billion mark since the fourth quarter of FY20. Quarter-on-quarter, the decline was even steeper at 70%. Revenue dropped 32% year-on-year to $2.12 billion. Glove blames the weaker fourth quarter results on normalising demand following mass vaccination rollouts on a global scale, leading to lower sales volume and average selling prices, not matched by a corresponding reduction in raw material prices. Exacerbating matters was the finding imposed by the US Customs and Border Protection and the enhanced MCO, which shuttered its operations in Selangor for 10 days, affecting 50% of its factories. Even so, full-year net profit for FY21 surged a massive 349% to $7.87 billion, while revenue more than doubled to $16.4 billion from $7.2 billion ringgit. Glove announced a final dividend of 5.4 cent per share, which brings the total dividend for FY21 to 65.1 cent per share, 452% higher than the 11.83 cent per share paid in FY20. MD Datuk Lee Kim Miao says that Glove was pleased to deliver such strong results despite the several challenges throughout the year. He attributes this to its committed employees who have ensured that Glove could meet the urgent need for gloves globally, particularly for frontliners. Meanwhile, after more than a year of being prohibited from shipping goods to the US market, Glove says it will resume exporting and selling its gloves stateside following the lifting of the CBP ban effective September 10, 2021. Executive Director Lim Chong Guan says the company has been maintaining good relationships with its US customers and has been regularly liaising with them. He says that shipments to the US will most likely resume in early October, which will help boost sales as the US accounted for 15% of the group's total sales for FY21. To recap, in July last year, Glove had two of its subsidiaries placed under detention order by the CBP over forced labour allegations. The two members of the Ecoworld Group delivered a contrasting set of third-quarter numbers. Ecoworld Development Group's third-quarter net profit dipped marginally by 1.9% to $35.15 million, while revenue fell 6% to $448.9 million, mainly due to more completed or near-completed properties being sold. Even so, sales by end August had reached $3.11 billion, which enabled it to surpass the full-year target for FY 2021 of $2.88 billion. Ecoworld President and CEO Datuk Chang Kim Wah says the solid sales are an indication of the fundamental strength of demand for its projects and products. With its workforce almost fully vaccinated, the group's construction sites are now allowed to operate at full capacity and its sales galleries to reopen. This will enable the group to proceed with its plans for the launch of several new phases before the end of the year. However, for Ecoworld International, net profit for the third quarter fell 93% to $2.49 million, while revenue slumped 79% to $127.1 million. EWI said the lower earnings were mainly due to lesser number of units sold being handed over by its Australian projects, as well as lower share of profits from its UK joint ventures. In a statement, EWI said that its year-to-date sales amounted to 1.04 billion ringgit. President and CEO Datuk Teo Leong Seng says that while FY21 has been challenging, he is optimistic that the easing of lockdowns and rising vaccination rates will help conditions improve. According to him, early indications of improving fundamentals can be seen with rising house prices in inner London and higher house prices in Sydney and Melbourne. AirAsiaX has made substantial progress in its months-long talks with creditors as it aims to convene meetings with them to vote on a restructuring theme by end October. Quoting CEO Benjamin Ismail, Reuters reports that negotiations with lessors, Airbus and service providers have progressed but declined to reveal the exact details. AIX has also been talking to potential investors for its recapitalization and hopes to complete discussions by the end of the year. Benjamin says that talks with the creditors are in the final stage stages, and all have indicated they want to see the airline proceed with its restructuring. He adds that the main commercial terms are already out of the way. In a court document filed on Monday, AAX says negotiations are still afoot, but that various letters of undertaking have been secured. The airline told the court that it has received signed letters of undertaking from 3 large creditors to support and vote for the scheme. They are Honeywell International, Bridgestone Aircraft Tyre, and Sky High iLeasing. Malaysia Airports Holdings has managed to ward off a huge chunk of a claim made by a construction firm related to the upgrading of the Penang International Airport. Syarikat Pembinaan Anggrek, which had claimed a 66.8 million lawsuit against MAHB, was only awarded 9.93 million plus interest by the High Court today. The 9.93 million was for balance of work payments. Confirming the award, MAHB said in a BOS filing that the sum took into account a deduction of 750,000 in liquidated ascertained damages awarded to the group for SPA's delays in completing the airport's airside drainage works. Judicial Commissioner T. Giok Hock, however, dismissed SPA's claims for acceleration costs and prolongation costs. To recap, MAHB engaged SPA to upgrade the airport in Bayan Lepas in 2010, only to have it blow past the mid-2012 completion date due to flooding and ceiling collapses. SPA filed the suit in 2017, saying that it was entitled to claim for loss and damages due to unexpected acceleration of the relevant portion of the work. The National COVID-19 Immunization Program, or PIC's budget, should be raised to 6.1 billion from 5 billion for 2021, says think tank Emir Research. Emir's head of science and technology, Amin Kamal, says that PIC is likely to be extended well into 2022 on immunological uncertainties. Amin also highlights key components that should see an increase in budget, namely vaccine procurement, post-immunization surveillance, outsourcing of private medical practitioners, and contingencies. He says the sub-items were 3.5 billion allocated for vaccine procurement and logistics should be raised by 1 billion to allocate for boosters and updated vaccines. Amin says that the government should embark on decentralization strategies through designation of GP clinics nationwide and private hospitals as vaccination centres. He adds that it is crucial to have locally assigned GPs to monitor positive cases within the vicinity to avoid unintended disease progression. Meanwhile, he says that the allocation for data integration and appointment systems should be reduced to 50 million from 70 million, given that the systems had already been set up.